Alrighty, guys, how's it going? It is about 2 o'clock in the morning. Can't sleep. Go figure that out. I guess I'm gonna sit here and do a little, I don't know what you want to call it, rambling session or whatever. I don't do this very often. Um, it's Friday the 13th, 2026. Tomorrow is tip up. Brother, I think, is going to go there and watch me. That'll be kind of cool. I've gotten saws already. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. We're at 35,000 subscribers. And that absolutely blows my mind. I started this YouTube channel, I think, about 10 years ago, maybe more. And my editing still sucks. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm absolutely horrible at tech stuff. It is what it is, you know. But I originally started this channel as more of a therapy session for me than anything else. And you know, my early videos, you guys were just a phone stuffed in my pocket. But you're still just a phone. I don't have a GoPro or anything like that. I don't even have a laptop. So my YouTube channel is totally done. Through their videos that have been edited, there's four people throughout the years, and I try not to pester those four for help. Like anytime you've seen a side by side or a slow motion shot or anything like that, I've had help. I would send them the video, they would do whatever they do, and then send it back to me, and I'd upload it. I think I've come a long ways. I am doing minor editing now, but I was talking to the wife the other day, and she's like, you know, we were discussing things. For the last 3 years, it's been hard. The last 2 years for sure, and last year was the worst. You know, those that don't know, my dad was suffering from dementia, countless mini strokes. I just, I couldn't put him in a home, so I took care of him full time. You know, it was spoon feeding him, changing him, cleaning him up. Especially once he lost the ability to walk, and it was just this downward struggle. It was absolutely, I hope nobody has to go through what I went through to watch with my old man. Alzheimer, dementia, whatever that he had compounded with the strokes was absolutely horrendous, especially towards the end. Watching, you know, he couldn't drink or eat nothing with the dysphagia. It's horrible to watch somebody starve themselves to death. Is the way I look at it. And I ground up food, spoon fed him. He wouldn't do a feeding tube, and I honored his wishes the best I could, and still while trying to do my job of taking care of him the absolute best I could. The doctors were dumbfounded at how long I was able to. They never thought he was going to make it as long as he did. They figure I got him like an extra 3 years over what a normal person was. A lot of it was hard, but there was good moments in between the hard ones. But that put a huge strain on my relationship with my wife and my kids and family, and my brothers didn't really come, you know, and each their own, you know. Everybody takes stuff differently. I almost wonder, because I'm the oldest, I got two younger brothers and a younger sister. My sister lives in Australia. She couldn't do nothing about it. I did do video, whatever, Facebook Messenger video calls so she could see Dad, but think it bothered my brothers too much to see my dad in that condition, and I just couldn't put him in a home. So my life got put on hold, turned upside down, put on hold for like 3 years, and then after that there was some other. Well, there was a few other things in the background that put a huge strain on us. I'm not going to talk about it on YouTube, but that was pretty upsetting and stressful. That whole situation probably, and stress-wise, probably knocked 5 years off my lifespan. That was stressful. That's over now, as far as I know. And we're 2026. I want a fresh. This is going to be the year where I get to recover. I get to have fun, and I would say overall with YouTube, I talked to a lot of other YouTubers. I don't know how they're making the money they're making. I must be doing something severely wrong, because the most this channel's ever made in a month was like $329, maybe $379 or something like that. That was out of fluke, and I think that's just because I had one video hit like it was a short. It hit like 4.4 million views or something crazy. That was a weird couple of weeks. I had so many comments pouring in, but it's dropped down. YouTube has changed something or done something. I'm $102 a month is what the estimated revenue is saying. I don't even think that covers what I use in shop towels a month, let alone cleaning supplies. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've heard other YouTubers getting like $1,000 a month. I wouldn't know what to do with that, but it would be nice if I could get the view count up and get back to, I put a lot of content out for you guys, and I try to make good content. It's truthful content. This is me, I don't get into the aspects of much past the chainsaw side of the other side of my life, because, me, the wife, and kids need our own privacy. I think 2026 is going to be a big year. I've got 2 grandchildren now. I've got 4 girls, and I think my oldest is going to be 25 this year. I'm horrible with dates. I think my oldest is going to be 25. The twins will be 22, 23, something like that. They'll probably be all mad at me because I screwed their ages up or whatever. And then my youngest is 21, and I got a 4-year-old grandson, a 2-year-old grandson, and we have another grandchild on the way. I don't know if it's a boy or girl yet. So 2026 is going to be interesting, but I'm going to be trying to focus to get my health better, because I am suffering from multiple health issues right now. I'm not going to let it bog me down. I'll just do the best I can do with what health I've got, and hopefully the stress factor was way up here. It is on a downward decline now, so hopefully cutting the excess stress out will maybe help me recover and get easier. I have broke down a few times. I cut pop out. I'm retaining a lot of water right now. The kidneys just aren't working very well right now. I'm battling quite a bit of kidney issue and liver issues right now. I think they're all related. I think your organs all kind of need to coincide. But if I do drink a pop, it's something clear. Like I've been sucking on this cherry Sprite. I've been trying to stay clear, but still get that shit's addicting. I did cut it out for a while. I do drink plenty of water. I drink gobs of lemonade. I've had, friend of the channel, friend of me, that I've never met. He actually sent me some supplements and stuff there that I'm going to try. I've been taking them for 2 days now, 3 days, and I haven't noticed any effect yet. But it's supposed to help like clean out and detoxify the kidneys. What's it going to hurt? You know, at this point, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get worse, and I'll just try to do the best I can for you guys. But me and the wife were talking, and she's like, man, you know, a lot of people. And it's like, I got thinking about it, and it's like, through this YouTube journey, yeah, if you would have asked me or told me 20 years ago that I would have friends and know people all over this country and other countries, I would have said, nah, you're full of it. You know, I have friends that I've met through YouTube or other, you know, like Facebook or whatever, and I'm gonna look into that Facebook stuff. I guess you can make money dropping videos on Facebook, so I'm gonna look into that and see if we can do that too, and maybe help getting a little bit more garage funding coming in here. I don't. If I wanted to, I could say, yeah, I'm gonna start porting saws as a business. I don't want to do that. Anytime I've ever done that, this is my hobby. I do take saws on time to time to cover expenses or another project that I want to buy, or to get parts to fix another project, but I do not want to be a production porter. Any time in my life that I've took something I loved and then tried to turn it into a viable income source, it's sucked the fun right out of it. I lose interest, and then I drop it like cold turkey, and then it becomes misery. And I do not want to do that to, you know, one of the last hobbies that I have. I mean, I like hunting, I like shooting, I like chainsaws, and I like chainsaw racing. That's about it for my hobbies right now. Now I collect coins, and you know, you get lots of other little tiny quirks, but like my coin collecting consists of, I'm not going to go out and buy a coin. Let's put it that way. If something comes in my pocket change, oh, that's cool, I want to keep that, or an old dollar bill or something, it goes in the collection. Or if I get lucky and get a piece of silver or something from the bank, I do kind of want to get into metal detecting. I think that'd be kind of fun. My one buddy's into that, and I think that would be kind of cool. But that's ways down the road. But yeah, I've got friends I've never met on this platform. I've got friends all over the place, and I am the crew from Sawfest is coming up. It's gonna be up at Tip Up. I'm looking forward to seeing them guys. 2026, I want it to be the year where I can start having fun, and I want it to be stress-free fun. Like, I'm going to go to Tip Up. I have no doubts that I'm probably not going to perform well. I am not a very good racer. I do want to practice and get a little better. I would love it if I could get good enough where if I went to a race, I could make it in the top 10, top 15. That would be phenomenal. But I just don't see it. There's guys that race all the time, and I do think I make a pretty good firewood race saw. I make a pretty lousy race saw that's in the legit race world. I am not nowhere near there yet. Probably won't ever be there. It doesn't matter. I'm going to have fun. I don't care if I come in last place. I mean, I don't want to come in last. Nobody wants to come in last place, and it would be some stroke of miracle if I end up making it in the top 5. I highly doubt that. There's too many. There's too many good racers out there with good saws. You know, I'm just a I'm just an idiot that sits out here and wastes my time on chainsaws. I'm having a good time. That's all that matters. Throughout all my videos, I have never said this is how to port. I don't claim to be a professional. It blows my mind when you guys send me a message or whatever. But I need you to port this. You know, it'd be good to have a good professional. I'm not a professional. I'm a goofball that is addicted to chainsaws and changing and modifying them. And it doesn't matter. When I was a kid, it was putting more batteries in my electric thing, or every single thing I've ever owned, I've tried to make it faster. It's just in my nature. But you know, YouTube has been phenomenal. 99.9% of you guys are top-notch, awesome people. I've encountered some of the best people I've ever met in my life through this community. There's just this little... You could probably fit them all on one hand of people that I would consider straight up a-hole or straight up douchebag, or, you know, scum of the earth or whatever. People you don't like. It's like this. And I've also encountered people where at first they didn't like me, and then I meet up with them, race them, talk to them, hang out with them or whatever, and then we're friends. It's funny how some people will judge somebody when they've never met somebody, ran your saw or anything. I don't care how, you know, like all this drama that's going around now. I don't give a shit. If you want to duct tape your cylinder to something and use a disc grinder or something and cut your base down, I don't care. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me. It's not my saw, you know. Hopefully you're not doing that for somebody else's saw, but if it's your own stuff, who gives a crap? I don't understand it. If someone wants to use a lathe to do their porting work, who cares? If someone wants to use a milling machine, who cares? If someone wants to use a block of wood and take it to their wood shop and have it run through a planer and stick a piece of sandpaper on it and sand their base, I don't care. I don't understand. It blows my mind. You know, if someone wants to use a Fordham and then someone wants to use a Dremel, I don't care, guys. But if you're taking somebody's money, try to do the most accurate and decent job you can. I have had countless pictures of, you know, people call me a hack, and then I get pictures sent to me, and it's like, I'm not going to name names or nothing, but it blows my mind at what some of this port work looks, and then you find out the guy got hit $500 for it or whatever, and it's like, holy crap. I would have been, if that was my saw, I would have been mad if they done that to my OEM cylinder. Some of the work that I've encountered it. I have had, and not once have I showed you guys, I have had, in the saw world, I have had some big names roll through my bench. I've had some big YouTube, whatever you want to call it, influencers. I guess if you do YouTube, you're a public influencer. I guess I am a public influencer. Whether you want to or not, I'm a public entity or whatever. If I'm putting stuff out there for the world to see, but there is, I have had, I bet 30 saws in the 10 years that I've rolled through, and some were built by other builders and they weren't happy with the outcome or whatever, and you know, and then they asked me to fix it, and I peek at it and be like, oh, there, you know, I'm not fixing that. You're gonna have to buy a new cylinder, or I can look at it and be like, well, maybe with some extra machine work, I can fix it. And then if you're truly butchering saws, that is the whole point of a clone or Chinese cylinder. If you want to get into this and learn, screw $30 cylinders up instead of $350 cylinders or more. Some cylinders are even more than that. Hone your craft. Take practice. I'm not saying don't do it for money, but if you're not chamfering edges and the roof of your exhaust port looks like that, and the grinding looks like it was done with a router and a roto bit or something, don't be charging people. Take on a saw or whatever and say, hey, I'll do this for just the teardown time or whatever. Get good at it. Another thing, try experimenting. There's I don't want to word this. It keeps getting brought to my attention. There's people out here. How do I word this in a classy way? Well, it sounds like a douchebag. There's people out here in this hobby. If you're butchering your own stuff, I don't care. Have at it. Learn away. Don't butcher other people's stuff. But there's people out here that I'm finding, and every day it's more and more. It's like a never-ending kaleidoscope that I keep getting stuff sent to me on where somebody's into the hobby. They go around, pump gobs of people for information. Information is given out. They're doing port work, and they're just mimicking other people's builds and getting results based on others without understanding. If you're going to move a port or open a lower or change a flow path direction or create a tumble in a roll, there's all kinds of things I look at. My flame front, how is the backside of my cylinder gonna scavenge? Every single, if you're changing factory stuff around, have an understanding of why you're doing that, not just doing it because everybody, say somebody, 100 roof example. That's a pretty popular roof height. I run it a lot. If you don't understand why you're putting that at 100, do some studying. It makes you a better porter. Try take a junk saw, cut it apart, and study it. Study it. If someone gives you a set of numbers and tells you to fire one at this and do another one at that, and then the texture of this, and then to roll your shape in, try to understand why you're doing that. Just don't do it and say, yeah, I ported this. It's cool that you ported it, but try to understand the hows and whys. And then once you understand the hows and whys, you can tailor that build. You can take a saw and manipulate it to suit however their cutting need is, and you'll get a better result. You'll have a much happier, if you're doing it for work, you'll have a much happier customer. You'll feel better about yourself because you know that and do your absolute best. It is not a rush. These guys that are cranking these cylinders out in 15-minute port jobs or whatever, I just don't understand it. I'll spend 2 days on a cylinder if I have to. It's not a rush to me. I don't care. Some people give me shit because I polish exhaust ports. I don't care. It's my exhaust port. My name's going on that cylinder. I want my work to be the absolute best of my ability at that point given in time of whatever my skill set is versus my tool set. I've grown. Like, look back what I was putting out 5 years ago to what I'm putting out now, and it's because I never give up. I'm constantly trying to improve my abilities. Granted, I've gotten better tooling. That helps out a lot. That Lucky Dog has helped out tremendously. This is not a paid promotion or nothing, but because I've bought in every single. I've got two of those Lucky Dogs. I've personally purchased them. Sean Carr that makes them. Really like that guy. Super smart dude, and I am absolutely thrilled that he offers that. It's a excellent. I mean, yeah, it's expensive, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to like that other company. I can't think of the name, CC Specialties or whatever it is. I think those are like $600 or something last time I looked. And if you're in a big yank and you're trying to port hot and heavy, yeah, you will smoke that head. But I think that other head, I think I'm on 20, 25 port jobs or so on it, and it's still going. Once you understand how to use the tool, it's not bad. But if you go in there and you're all throttle happy and you're whizzing that thing hard and you get it locked up on a port, that head's done. You'll be buying another $14 head off eBay and putting another dental head on it. And his bits are a little bit pricey, but he has to have them custom made for that dental head, and they last a long time. They do, as long as you take care of them. But yeah, just take your time, try to understand. And it doesn't matter if it's porting or your muffler mod. Take your time, guys. I get blowed up all the time, and I've had, not once have I ever threw another builder under the bus on my YouTube channel. Not once. Now, have we discussed what we would and would not do behind the scenes with buddies and stuff? Absolutely. I think we all do it. And some of the ones that have crossed my bench were not the builder's fault by any. Sometimes a bearing, especially on models that are noted for bearing failure. Like I had one cross my bench. It was used hot and heavy for 7 years. 7 years. I think is what that guy told me. And it ate a cage on the PTO side, clutch side. And he was bummed. And the guy that built it, I don't think is doing port work, or maybe he's not even around anymore. The guy that built it couldn't look at it, and this guy loved the saw. Yeah, I took a look at it, I tore it down, and I didn't see really anything wrong with the port work. All I did was clean the carbon out of the exhaust port, and then Scotch braided the cylinders. Looked at the cylinders, the plating was still all there. There was just a few hairline scratches in it, so I mimicked the piston, bought a new piston and ring, mimicked the piston. Thank God the piston wasn't hurt or whatever, so I was able to duplicate all. I tried to mimic exactly how that other builder had it, and I put it back together and put new seals, bearings, card kit, all that stuff, new piston ring in it, and the guy was absolutely ecstatic. He got his favorite saw back. I don't consider what I did to it manipulating it one bit at all. All I did was repair an existing port job, and all I did was, I didn't touch it. I didn't even read the numbers on it, because it's not my business. I don't care. It didn't matter to me. I was repairing a guy's saw, and to get 7 years of hard use out of it and have a freaking bearing fail, hopefully he gets another 7 years out of it with the patch-up job I did. I tried to put high-quality bearings back in it, high-quality seals, and rebuilt the carburetor, and when he got it back, he was ecstatic. He said it's just like the day he opened it up out of the box and played with it when the first guy ported it, so that made me feel good. But I have never, ever thrown you know, and I've had some horrendous port work roll through here done by other people. Some were purchased off eBay, some were, you know, and it's like, and you tear a saw down and it's like, holy crap, you got charged how much for this? And then they tell you, and it's like, oh my God. It's like, looks like blind Ray Charles went in there with cutter bits and stuff and just butchered it. And you know, I know some people out there try to collect a saw from every builder out there. That's pretty hard to do. And then, you know, other people test builders, and then they find a builder that's suitable for them, and then they stick with it. And you know, if you're looking for somebody to port your saw, word of mouth, talk to people, and you know, people that don't show their port work or send you pictures of it, or you know, like typically if I'm doing something for somebody, you get pictures or a little back view video, and then sometimes I've built saws for people that have absolutely told me they don't even want people knowing I built them the saw. It's weird. I don't know if that's because of hatred of other porters or what, or fear of backlash. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, that's enough on that subject. This video is getting pretty long, but yeah, I've blabbered on here. Let's talk about what I'm taking to tip up. Let me get you out of here. It can't sleep rambling video. I wished I had this thing, all the bugs worked out of it. I would really, really love to race that at tip up. It's just not happening. I haven't had time. I did get spacers made in here for this thing to stop this from crushing. I'm hoping my carburetor is not going to come loose now. The Get Together 661 right here. I have Curtis is going to be running this thing. I have an 18-inch GP bar or whatever. And this is a square ground I did up a long time ago on that Symington when I had it. That's the only 18-inch bar and chain I got for it. I got an 8-pin set up on it. He's going to race that for 6 cube. I don't know if he's going to run it in the mod class or not. I've got the other 661 set up with a 9-pin and 325 23 RS. And yeah, I think I'm going to be running that, or I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Got Nate Blakesley's experimental 501 there. It's got a piston swap in it. And I don't know. There's only 2 saws that I've done that to. I'm going to drop that off to him at tip up and let him take it home, play with it. It is what it is. I did make test cut video of just goofing off a little bit. I might drop that later today or something. And let's get over here. The purple build. I have an 8-pin on it, 325 square ground. Curtis is going to be running that. I'm not pulling dogs or nothing. He's just going to have to be careful. But I do got that little square ground 325 on there. The 461 Get Together saw. Hopefully I don't blow my starter rewind out on it. I have it set up with a very aggressive square ground 3/8 7-pin. Be the first time it's been to a race since I opened the lowers a little more on it. I will be running my green build. I've got just a bone stock 7-pin 23 RS on it. The only reason I'm doing that, I'm familiar with how the saw runs with that chain. Figured that's my best odds to stick with familiarity. The 400. Got a brand new C83 on it, 16-inch bar. Think I'm going to roll with it. The Hodgepodge Racer. It's got the old reed saw pipe. It's got a piston swap cylinder that I turn around and put a modified stock piston in with a bored out carburetor. And let's see what else is there. No timing. Oh, it's got the full circle crank in it. I got 3/8. Don't know how it's going to do. I only played with it in that video. but I got 3/8. Let's see if I can get 3/8 square grind on it. And I'm going to run this in the 50cc mod class. I will have my butt absolutely handed to me, but I don't care. The only class that I suspect that I possibly might do good in is the 3-cube firewood saw, if I don't screw my runs up, just because this saw in our testing, the guys that when we were testing, they told me it was good enough for a top 5 run that I pulled off with it in the test. But testing with your buddies is one thing versus competition day. I don't do well at competitions, so hopefully my nerves won't get to me and I'll have a good run. And if I could put this thing up in the top 5, that would be phenomenal. But I don't see it. I see top 20, 25, somewhere in there. But this is the Arsenal that I am taking. That one, I don't think he's racing that one. He's just going to take it home and play with it. But yeah, I think I'm going to run 3 and 4 cube. So she's going to be outclassed in the 4 cube. But what the heck? She's going to be severely outclassed in the 3 cube mod class, but that's okay. I'm going to be going over to my buddy's house and practicing today. If she's faster than this one, I might just run this one in the mod class too. Got something stuck in my tooth. But yeah, 400. I might run this in the 5 cube, and then I'm debating. Might run that in 6 cube. Might run that in 6 cube. I don't know. I might run this in 6 cube firewood. And I might run that in 6 cube mod. I don't know. I'm probably going to run all the mod classes, but with all of this is all going to have 87, either 32 or 40 to 1. I do got to dump my old fuel out of that yet for Curtis. Because that saw's got the oldest fuel in it. But yeah, I gotta give this has got to go to Nate too. But yeah, holy cow, it's been 40 minutes of rambling. Those that have stuck around for this whole video, I greatly appreciate it. I don't know, it's a ramble. I did up another chain on this. This is not a paid promotion on this either. I purchased this. But I'm not going to discuss prices with it because I don't know the date of this video or whatever. Look on the website. Just Google squarejig.com. It's all on there. Prices are always subject to change. So I'm not going to give a price out and then, I don't hold it to me. Think that wheel's $140 and I get asked on this wheel all the time. I don't have to dress it, guys. That's why I went with it. I love CBN. It's, you got a dead center and then you got 2 angles off to the side, and I don't have to dress it, and it pulls heat away. And I think that wheel's 140. I think this grinder's 240, and I think it's 320 for the jig. And then I get asked on this. This is a 40/50, and I have the 45/51 right here. So that's the current prices in 2026. I don't know what that's just off the top of my head. And I think it's free shipping, if I recall. But I am absolutely thoroughly impressed with the quality of this Tecomec. I think this is a Tecomec Jolly EVO. Thoroughly impressed with it. I'm actually starting to like this grinder more than this one. Now, for round ground chain, I have done thousands and thousands of chain with this grinder. I'm sticking with it for my round ground just because I'm so familiar with it. In the future, I might tip this to the side, take this square jig out, and play around with some chains with this little pointy thing and see what happens. I think I can mimic something similar to a hexa chain in probably like 3/8 LP or that 1/4 inch pitch stuff. I got some ideas I don't want to try that wheel on, but first I want to master this square jig. And this is the 5th chain that I've done, and try to Very, very happy with the results so far. Now this is probably going to be a very, very, very hungry chain. There's the reason I'm playing with these. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you can see that or not. That raker is down. So she's probably going to be super hungry or whatever. So, but I don't know. After 6 or 7 more grinds, this thing feels nasty, guys. So, yep, I might take that and play around with it on the green saw and practice. You know, if this is faster than the 23RS and I like how it's feeling, maybe I'll race it. I don't know. Practice day will tell. But I got to get around and get all this crap in my truck and eat some breakfast other than some beef jerky that I've been chewing on. But yeah, no. Sorry about the rambling video. I hope 2026 is going to be the year for me where I want to hit. I know I won't be able to hit them all, but I know my one buddy, he does a race thing somewhere up north. It's pretty far up north, but he normally drives through and stops by every year and visits me on his way there. And if I can swing it this year, I might just ride with him all the way up there and back, and just take 1 or 2 saws with me so I don't plug his truck up, and you know, maybe I can get to that race too. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, knock on wood, I'm not having any side pains today and no back pain, so hopefully I'll feel good enough to do decent at the race. But I've blabbered on here enough. Sorry for the rant. I don't know. You guys have a good one.